Hello everyone, how are you doing guys? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, where you watch us. And I'm so happy here because we start more one session about JNoSQL. And today we finish the last task about being validation. Am I right, Max? And how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for introduce me and bring the test that we are intend to be done today. So it will be amazing. Well, first of all, I'd like to share a Twitter telling that we are alive. Yeah, we. Oh, it's a crazy day today. I'm happy. I'm very busy with a lot of stuff, company stuff, work stuff, and so on. So, and in order to alert our friends in the community, let's do this. So I will share my screen right now. Oh God, let me share my screen and asking people to join us in this journey. Okay, so I
Oh, yes,
in my
perfect.
Twitter right here, and we could type right here some information about that. Hold on, please. I'm just. So let's do this. Hi, so let's do this. Hey, folks, uh, we are alive. All right.
Yes,
It's
I share it on my Instagram now.
are streaming. I think it's alive. Is a think one. Am I right?
Yes.
It's the right thing to say. Yeah, my God.
Oh, and the support they say, uh, expand my English.
Yeah, let's expand our English right now. So, oh,
Hello,
looks.
support they.
Oh, oh. Hello, support, Dolly. It's date. It's very nice to see you here. We are. Uh, let me see. The what edition we are doing today? 29, 29, 29.
29 sessions about JNoSQL. Oh, and we realize a lot sessions in short time, and this is so amazing. I like this a lot. And do you have news about JNoSQL Max before everything?
Happening now. Hold on. Join us. Join us. I think it's a good one. Let me see. Um, okay, I think it's the best one. And golf with Java. Golf with Java session is on So Java YouTube channel is getting started. It's getting started. Join us to contribute to the Eclipse Eclipse Foundation JNoSQL project. Okay, so I will add some tags. So move it by Java. Yes, I moved by Java. About Java as well. Jakarta is a good one. So Jakarta EE Jakarta JNoSQL, 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 and of course, open source is a good thing. And let me add the link. Copy the link and put the link right here. Okay, I think yeah, you're ready. Am I right? So I think it's a good one. Let's type. Let's tweet like that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. Amazing. So uh, let's let's go back and then solve our task today. So let me open again the GitHub Eclipse JNoSQL issue. We are trying to let me just zoom it. Yes, it's better. And if we take a look in this issue, what we are trying to solve. So we are trying to solve this one. We are trying to create more sample codes, more Jakarta E sample codes that will help developers to understand how to work with Jakarta NoSQL using the reference implementation that is the Eclipse JNoSQL project. So we can see that we have been getting started to work on this one. So let me open the task in order to continue the implementation. So I will open right here and JNoSQL and demo and it's already the main. We did we did some changes as read in our last session, and we have created a project as we can be able to see right here. I'm just
Yes, today I think we need to implement only the validation. Am I right? And
yeah.
hello, Mateus. How are you doing, my friend? I don't see you. You have a long time. I don't remember if you entered the last session. But how are you doing,
Yeah,
Mateus?
yeah. So amazing to see the people here. Yeah, yeah. We are using this live, those lives, this series lives, in order to help us to practice in our English. So by that we could expand our vocabulary and put in practice our English. So that's the main reason why we are using English during these sessions. Okay. So do you remember, Gabriel, that you have asked me, oh, Max, we could use, sorry,
Sorry for any key in my company. Hard work here. Oh, I think it's
uh,
generic companies.
yeah, during the week, it's very hard for everyone that works. Yeah, I totally understand you, Mateus. I totally understand. Okay, so do you remember, Gabriel, that you asked me, oh, Max, we could use CPF validation in our code, but we
Yes.
couldn't see this one because it's part of the implementation of Hibernate Validator. So it's not a part of
Yes.
the specification
After
there.
this, I remember this because
Yeah,
this is a function in the wrap Hibernate. And today I
yeah.
didn't use it this in my project.
For
Oh,
example, if we like to use this one, we could appoint to to this implementation, and using by that we could go there and use, for example, the CPF. I think that it needs to update. Okay. Once it's updated, we could use CPF validation in order to make sure that everything is updated. But CPF is something that we don't want to share in our codes. It's a private information. Okay, we know that many places in Brazil got our CPF number, but let's keep that thing in the easiest way, okay? In order to avoid to hold any kind of uh, particular information in our codes. Okay, so that's the reason why I prefer to avoid to use that. We what we can do is to develop a specific validation and create a specific component and doing the validation on that. It's because the objective of this issue is to show how to integrate JNoSQL with validation to work together, and that's the reason why we are doing this. We are not exploring more features about B validation specification. Okay, so but it's very interesting to say that, and that's the difference between a specification and the implementation. When we are using when we are developing focus on a specification,
It's
we need to use
oh,
we have benefits because we could switch between the implementations. You understand?
I can give you the best example. Specification using around the world, implementation using only one country. One example, the implementation, it's a Hibernate CPF, and example specification is a JNoSQL. JNoSQL using around the all world, and the implementation using only a specific parts.
Uh, I think you are right in some points, but
I get
let's
to the
think
best
on
example.
something like that. Let's think on the easiest way. Let's try to metaphor something right here in order to understand how those things works. Okay, so for example, you could work, you could be commit in your job using your car, a car, any kind of car. You drive and so on. A car, it's a kind of a specification, is a vehicle that allows you to commute between the places and so on. But you could use any kind of cars. You could use a BMW or Volkswagen or Fiat or any kind of car. But both cars are cars as well. Got the same uh, follow the same specification, but once you likes to use a specific feature of a specific car, you will need to be coupled with this kind of car. Do you understand? For example, oh, I love the way that the Volkswagen cars works with with a specific piece of the car. So when we are decide to use a specific implementation, we are coupled with this kind of car. So if any kind of issues happens with you with this specific car, we just can fix it with pieces for this specific car. Understand? When we are using uh, uh, a bigger an specification, you could just switch to another car and solve your problem. You understand? So, instead of I'd like to go to the to my work, but my car doesn't work today. It's broken. I need to fix it, but I need to go there. What I can do, I can just switch to another car and solve my problem. It's the same when we are using a specification, Jakarta specification. When we are developing a code using a specification, we could switch between the implementations and trying to find out the best implementation that fits with our necessities. For example, as you said, today we yesterday in the last session we tried to use a CPF validation in our entity. This validation is a specific one. It's not a part of a big specification of the validation. Once we decide to use this kind of a specification, this kind of solution, we are coupled with Hibernate validator implementation. Do you understand me?
I know.
We cannot get out with this kind of implementation because our solution depends of this feature. So that's the reason why we need to care about the way that we are developing our code, because depending of the way that we are coping those things, we are, how can I say, uh, close to the vendor. So this is the build of the specification. We could switch between the implementation. For example, we are using JNoSQL. JNoSQL is an implementation. Okay, is an implementation. But if we develop the application using the Jakarta NoSQL, in the future, we could use another kind of implementation of Jakarta NoSQL specification. Do you understand me?
I know.
By now, Jakarta NoSQL got one specific reference implementation. That is that is Eclipse JNoSQL project. So this is the difference that most of the people don't understand, why we need to use the specification, why not to be coupled with a specific vendor. Sometimes it's not something acceptable. It depends of your context, so you need to pay attention with that. But let's go back to our codes, because we are speaking a
Like
lot and we
this,
need to
thi-
solve the problem.
but no, Max, this is very amazing because this discussion say, oh, this is implementation, this is specification. It's a very necessary, like because have a lot of persons don't have the oh, this is implementation, this is specification, because you say one thing is very cool. It's a very similar. Like sometimes you can feel in confusion. Oh, this is implementation or specification, and that this conversation is a very amazing.
Yeah, it's a different way to think about dependencies in your application.
Yes,
We need to pay attention with that, because that technical depths is not just about problems or issues that you got in our project. It's about the libraries and the technology that you are using together in order to solve some problems. When we are to delegating business logic to a specific framework or a library, we are creating technical debts, because if some problems happens with this library, how do you deal with in your project? You understand? The library got a issue. For example, a specific library is not more supported, is no more maintained. So you need to switch to another compatible implementation. But sometimes it doesn't exist. So you need to solve your problem. It's a
yes,
debt. It's a technical debt. So based on that, you need to pay attention with kind of technical debts you want to pay for in the future. So this is a specific question that could be very interesting. It could be the difference between the success and a fail in your specific project. So you need to pay attention with that. Okay, of course, it's something that you learn day by day. You learn with the time. You need to get mastering with this kind of situation. It's hard to understand this when we are getting started to work with the software development, but we need to pay attention with that because it could be a good problem in the future when we are decide to use a specific implementation. Okay. Okay, well, okay, but Springs is so it's so nice. It's a very mature library and so on. That's okay. That's okay. But we need to you need to understand that if you take a look at the contributors against the users of a specific framework, there is a huge difference.
Yes.
And and once we once we got a good support, a good maintenance, we need to you could be secure to use a specific framework. Okay, I'm not saying that we need to leave Spring. I think Spring is a huge one. It's a very important framework. Ecosystems, it's ecosystems. There is a lot of projects that help us Java developers to be succeed in the market, and it's very important. But we need to open our mind to opportunities, especially regarding the Jakarta specifications, because I don't know if you know, but Springs also implements Jakarta specifications, so it's part of the process. They are not enemies. They are working together to ramp up the Java in the market in the software development world. So that's something that I'd like to say in our session, in order to
Yes.
help the people in our audience. Okay,
Yes. I think
so let
I before we finish this theme, I think we can create one session talking about this because it's a more deep, like not very superficial theme. Like we can enter in discussions more deep in, like you understand more how these things work in general. But after this little talking about specification, implementation, return to the code, the project, because we have only 1 hour to finish this because today
yeah.
is a
Let's
day
let's let
for both.
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I'd like to I'd like to externalize this property, this version in a specific problem because property because I
It's,
like the way to do this because when we like to how can I say
it's more easy to change
to
your the person.
yeah the version in the future I think it's better and you could during the build process you could test it before to change it something it's very interesting to say that. Okay, so once we got it, looks like we are ready to add some validations in our code, in our sample. Okay, right here what we did, we are using our own entity as input, but it's not a good practice because when we are developing an API, exposing our entity, it could be hard to evolve the model through during the life cycle of the projects for do you understand what I'm saying? Because when we are changing the API, we are breaking the contract. When we are breaking the contract, many clients that are using our API, we're broken as well. It's another good practice. The best practice is to isolate in a specific layer the contract. Based on that, we will be able to involve the module, the entities as we need during the life cycle of the project. Do you understand? So let's do this one. Uh, a specific pattern that you used to use in this scenario is a DTO, is a data transfer object or a value object or any kind of this kind of variation of this design pattern. And based on that, we could isolate these issues. So let's create a specific one. Okay, we are using in our project the OpenLibet, and OpenLibet got YASN implementation for JSON, be a Martian and a Martian data. So we could we could use it right here records to do these things. So based on that, we can use records to isolate to create a DTO, and based on DTO, you could create our entity. We can do this. It's the easiest way to do that. We could create a play old Java object as well, but we know that is a very scaffold that we need to put. For example, the getters and set and so on. Of course, in the spring we got Jackson library that got a specific way to handle with marching and a marching object to JSON. But we are using Asm because we are using an open limit uh, implementation for micro profile that we are using this in our solution. Okay, so based on that, let's involve this one. Okay, so I will create a new student object, new student entity, and based on that we could involve this one. So this one could be a record I could create right here if I want, if I'd like, but I'd like to create this record in our package. So based on that, we could create this one, and we could decide the attributes that we want to offer to user um, in order to create our user. So the name is a new one. Am I right?
Yes.
Let's see, and the age, and age is another one. So in the age, int age. Okay. So we could also add some validations right here. It's a good place to do that because we could isolate the validation, and this validation will happens during the marching, during the process of our resource or our controller class. So we could avoid to receive invalid object in our method. It's a good way to do that. So let's do this. So the name should be a not empty. So I think it's a not blank one. Cannot be a blank one. And it means the request should have a name parameter. Okay, but a known blank name should be provided during our request. And another one is the age, and the age we could require it to be a positive one, so we could be a positive one, so it means and I think it's a non-zero. I think it's non. I don't. I think zero is a not positive one. If I'm not wrong. Let's see. Let's see the documentation. Um, I think that you could download the code in order to make sure what it does. Zero is considered an invalid number, so it be higher than zero. So it's a good it's the behavior that we are like to add. Oh God, what do I did in our code. Also, I think that we could decide the minimal one. So we could decide the minimal one. So I think the minimal could be
18.
The name, yeah, 18, 18 is a good one. So the value, the minimal is, let's
Uh-huh.
see, yeah, I think could be add one. Minimal is yes.
It's like
Also,
like if you want drink beers, guys, you need the eighty.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, that configuration should be cascaded to the entity. So let's do this one. Let's increase this one. Okay. So I will put the no not blank to this one, and
Oh, and then not blank. You can put message, Max.
yeah, we could decide the error message
Yes.
and so on. But as I said, baby steps. Let's make that thing works, and then we will improve this after. Okay.
Okay.
uh, the minimal one would be 18. Okay. Okay. So great, and based on that, we are able to create our entity. Okay. Okay. As the DTO is part of the controller layer or the boundary layer, I think that we could delegate to the same object to instantiate our entity. Because if you create something like that, for example, oh, I like the I student, for example, I need to get a student. I create a new student. For example, I need to create everything. I need to instantiate this one. It's a more procedural process, and it's something that is a little boring stuff. Okay, it's a little boring stuff. You probably should create something like that. Okay, and after that you could just doing that thing, for example, and voila, we got the implementation. But this logic is on a controller. Sometimes it's not a good practice. I think that we could move this behavior to another piece of code, because well, controller should be cleaner, should be understandable, and avoid complexity. I think that it could be done in another place. I think, and a good candidate to do this is the on DTO, because well, I think it's a easy way to do that, because you could isolate this kind of behavior. DTO needs to be able to understand how to create a new model. I could decide this. I will try to do this. I think it's the easiest way. So we could go to there and create something like that. For example, I could offer as a student
Max, give
to
me a
model.
minute. I back in 1 minute.
Sure, 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 sure. So let's continue. So I create a new student. And so I could create this one. I could move this one right here. So set name to the name. Okay. I could create the age right here, and I could return the student right here. Okay, but of course, the student have a ID right here, and let's suppose, oh, I'd like to control this one. I'd like to control this one, and then based on that, I'd like to make the student's ID generate by a new ID information, for example. Based on that, we can use this one in order to create our object. So we could student, that could be
I beg you miss my person.
student, and so on. So as we can see, the code was reduced in a controller. So um, the request was able to create the student. The student was created right here, so we can see that we have created the entity on this way, and on this way we are able to execute this one on our in our code. So let's execute let execute this one, okay, in order to make sure that everything is still work as expected. So I will open right here our code. Let's see where I am. Okay, I'm in a good way. I'm in a good place. Let's see where I am right now. My God, hold on. PWD. Okay, bingo. Okay, great, great. So first of all, let's see if something running. Okay, MongoDB is already running, so we are able to execute our project. So let's do this. So MVN Liberty Dev. What it means? It will ramp up the application in the dev mode, and we will be able to execute the test our code right away using the hot deployment process. Any kind of change that we do in our project will be detected by the Liberty plugin, and the Liberty plugin will be responsible to reload the contents. It's very funny way to develop with microprofile or Jakarta E. It's pretty similar to Quarkus dev mode, but of course Quarkus dev mode will offer many kind of feature that we could get more benefits than just dev mode like that. But
That
it's
mode
a
is
good way to it's a good way to do that. Of course, we also can use Quarkus to use JNoSQL implementation. What Quarkus got a extension, that used JNoSQL, but JNoSQL's with only with MongoDB support. So it's something that I will pay attention in few days, because maybe it's a good opportunity to contribute with Quarkus as well. Maybe add more capabilities to Quarkus to use another kind of NoSQL database, not just only MongoDB one. Okay, so looks like everything is ready. We can
do you
see.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
no,
you
I
hear me?
hear you
Oh,
because
great.
I moved and stopped my can, and this platform sometimes have a bugs, you know.
Okay, so looks like everything is working. So I'm open the Open API Open API view, so we can see right here the Swagger UI that allow us to interact it with the application without any kind of REST client, external REST client. So we can do this. So based on that, oh, let me open the database. Let me see what we are have right here. So let's see. Let's see the data. Oh, there is Gabriel one right here. Good. I will delete it, and
Oh,
let's create a new one. No, I will delete it. Yeah, I don't like it.
I see.
No, 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 I love you. I love you. No worries. No worries. No worries.
Oh, thank
But
you, man.
let's test it. Okay, so uh, we are creating. Let's keeping the baby steps. Okay, first of all, let's try to store this one. Okay, so based on that, I will execute. a post request, passing this request body, okay, and I'm expected that it will be a store a new record, a new document inside of MongoDB. Let's do this. So I execute it, and and something doesn't work. Let's see what's happening. Hold down, hold down. Let's see what's happened to you, what's happened to you. Okay, expecting, expecting you. God, let's see. Mhm. Or maybe, oh, maybe I need to do something, something. Let's recompilate everything. Okay, so I will clean. I'm forcing the clean and the ramp up the application. Maybe something is missing. Okay, just to figure out right here, I think that there is no information in the database. Okay, there is no data. Application is getting started. Okay, it's something that takes time, especially because I'm streaming, and probably my machine is facing performance problems.
Normally, you
Okay,
need machine mods.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so looks like everything
It's done.
everything it's done. Let's available. Let's uh, just copy this one. I will try to restart. Okay, I think everything is
Working.
okay. Why? Okay, it's
Like,
working. Okay,
don't have
application.
mistakes and its applications work. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's now the
It's
time to test.
yeah. It's a good time to test. So let's do this. So I'm executing this one, and I execute a posting,
Uh,
and we're still facing this one. Okay, so okay. Looks like it's related to record support. Let's
ex,
see.
expect
Okay,
you.
yeah, yeah. Let's change it. Let's change it. I will convert it one to a class.
It's
Okay. Let's don't waste time. Okay. I will hold everything. I don't. I think that it's needed to add getters and setters because it's very important for the specification. I will try to do that. So I'm just create empty constructor. It's necessary. So right here, okay, we don't need to this anymore. And let's put right here getters and setters. Okay, great. And change right here to use a get name and get age. Just like that. I think that everything is in a good shape right now. So, okay, this one was created. I'd like to.
Yeah, you can.
Doesn't matter if you can still holding that thing on this way, or you could
No,
as well
I think you
moving
will
this
put
from.
in the annotation up
Yeah,
the.
it's normal to hold that thing isolated, but the Java compiler recognize that those ones are annotations. So
Oh, but the normal is more beautiful.
yeah. Okay, okay. I will do those things on the easiest way.
Thanks
Okay,
to my.
to follow
Yeah,
your recommendation. Okay, that's okay. It's a good one. Let's test it. Let's test it again. So based on the dev mode, the application was updated, so we could submit this one and let test if something was executed. Okay, so name, okay, age is here. Let's see what's happened. Okay, open tracing. Okay, okay. Oh, mm, oh, what? Oh, JSON bind. Okay, okay. Let's move. Let's go back. Let's go back to resource. Of course, the media is a little is a new one, so I will change it because we are not using this one. I'm using this new the student and okay, I will use this one. Yeah, I think I don't know why it's necessary, but let's hold this one. Okay, okay, great. Let's test it. Okay, the content. The content will be this one, but the response. Okay,
You can try now. You change the
yeah.
record.
Let's test.
Probably
Let's test.
probably the is record.
Oh, look that. Oh, oh, oh. Why it's oh
The
it's a sample. It's a sample one. No, it's a sample one. It's a sample one.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a sample.
Yes, try now.
So yeah. Let's put Gabriel Silva and put 24 years old.
Execute. Oh,
Oh,
so probably
looks
it's
it's working. Yeah, looks like it's working. It's already working, and we can see the data right here.
and now
Okay,
try with my
let's create.
age like 15.
Yeah, let's delete it and let's create a new
Because
one.
if is all things working 15, you don't can save, right? Am I right?
Yeah. It should be return a bad request.
Yes.
Oh, let's try to do this. So
17?
use it. 17. Okay, just
Okay.
testing. Oh,
Yes.
look.
That was
Of course, it returns a error. It returns a error. Let's see. Um, because probably we need to implement error handling in order to catch any kind of validation exception, constraint validation exception to transform in a bad request response. Okay, probably it's something needed to do. Okay, um, we cannot as we didn't put this one in our microprofile software. The answer or the validation doesn't work. But let's change a little thing. Let's change a little thing. I will remove the validation from the DTO and let's see if the JNoSQL implementation offer us the guarantees that an issue will happen. Okay, it's a very
but
interesting to see.
I have one question only this Max for you.
Sure,
This
sure.
implementation it's quickly because we have 5 minutes.
Yeah, I will just avoid the validation right here, okay?
Okay.
And and let's try to execute the validation under the hook, okay? Let's see. Okay, so I will try again. I will try again. Okay, the I will just change to myself, and still happens. And okay, it's something that it's happening during the execution, during the insert. We make sure with that just debugging in real time, so we could also debug it attaching to the process. I can attach to the process right here.
Oh my
And
gosh, right here is very strong.
okay, so let's try it. So I just connected my IDE with my implementation, and I will try to execute and see those things in execution. So right here we can see that the student was created using the invalid information right here, and we could see if this one will be stored. So in order to do that, I just play it. The response is still the same, throwing the constraint violation exception. So with the information, and can see we can see that no information was saved in a database, was stored in the database. Yes, Mateus. Yes, we can. We are able to see that that the validation happens before the storing. The integration with being validation is happening under the hook, under the JNoSQL implementation. So we could annotate our entities using being validations from the being validation specification, and with that we can guarantee that our data will be stored on a consistent way. Okay, so great. It's a very interesting way to work with. Um, let's. I will just let me go back. This one. I will just import the class again. Okay, let's try again. Okay, let's try again. I will reconnect just to make sure that everything is still working fine. So let's see. Okay, it was started. I think it's missing something. I think that I need to add something like that. I'm not sure. I just like to test it. Okay, okay. I know, Gabriel. We got you got on a time, but hold on. Let me test you one little thing yet. So I will run it, connecting my process, so I could do this. I will add a point right here. Well, according to my expectations, this code cannot be executed. So the request should be fail before to enter the demanded. Okay, this is my expectation. Let's test it. So I will be back. I will submit again, but right now I will try to with Gabriel Silva, and let's execute. Oh, look, the validation under the DTO is not happening, probably because it's missing a specific annotation. Okay, I will just to to let the request to be completed, but I will add a valid annotation right here because this one instruct, I think, according to my acknowledgement, it instructed the controller to test the properties, the objects before to enter the method. So let's try to do this. So I've just execute and let's try again. Okay, look, no one, no one, it doesn't happen right here, and we could, and look, we can see that a bad request was returned, and a specific information was coming back. Probably we should handle with this kind of exception under the JOX RS implementation, implementing a error handler and so on. But it's very interesting because look, um, the validation is happening before to getting in our source controller. So it's very interesting way to work with that. So look, I just updated the class again. Probably something uh, needs to be reloaded in the context, and we can see that a bad request is coming out and specific information coming saying what kind of invalid information was passed to the request. So we can see that, oh, the specific format was provided. So with that, we can conclude that it's everything working fine. Okay, is working fine, and we are able to test it. So I will
Yeah.
perform again with the valid information, and we can see that the information is coming to our execution method, and we can see the information that we have been created. And with that, we can conclude that everything is still working so fine. So
It's
present is
perfect.
coming, and we can see the information in our database.
It's
Why? It's
very
so
good.
fun. It's so nice. It's very nice. So let's complete our task by now, and let's format our record, our contribution, and complete the task. So
Oh,
let's
and
do this.
I remove your screen.
No, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. We can do this behind of scenes. It's something that we can do this later on. It's not something that we can do this, but we can do this. We can do this right now. Let's do this. I will turn off my debugger. I will go back to my application. I will stop everything. Okay. Um, we could just commit everything under the hook. So okay, so I will go back right here. Control K. Oh, look, Gabriel. I will use the ID. Okay, this
Okay.
time. Okay, I will sign off my comment. It's needed. I'm. I will. Let's see what I need to do. So okay, I need to add this one. Okay, so it's a char one, so I add uh, an example with JNoSQL with in
Validation.
validation. Okay, great. So I will add it. Okay, it was committed. So let's let's see. Okay, great. We could push up. Oh, we also need to upgrade another thing. Hold on, because it's very important. We should add we should add documentation about that. So let's add this one. So what we did, we created a JNoSQL bin validation. It's a micro
Profile.
profile using OpenLibert, and we are using MongoDB as implementation. Okay, so it's a very nice one. Let's. I will commit on the on the terminal by the on this time. So good. Add reading limit.
You killing me with my face. I know.
Okay, first. Uh, and info about JNoSQL being being validation integration. Okay. Oh, great! So I could push everything to my fork project, and we could go back, go here, GitHub, JNoSQL, and we can see my change right.
Query the pull
So
request.
yeah, yeah, adding uh, JNoSQL, SQL with being validated sample code. Oh, its reference is it DSPR reference to, yeah, it's, oh god, error type error. Okay, it it is the issue, so it's related to this one. So I like to do this one, and I could add some information right here. Changes. So creating added a sample code using micro profile open libert. Someone is calling.
You,
It's calling right now. Hold on, please.
okay.
Alô? Eu tô terminando minha live.
I hide Max because we don't need idea what Max is talking. Oh,
Oh, I'm back. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's nice. It was my wife asking me to go to my mother-in-law to have lunch.
oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, open liver with MongoDB as database. Okay. So I think it's a good one. Okay. Let's create the pull request right here.
Oh, and the Mateus say, I think the Max say hello.
Oh, man, it's so funny. It's interesting because sometimes when I talk in English a lot of time near to my wife, sometimes she asked me something, and I gotta start to answer in English, and she looks to me and says, "I don't understand English. Why are you speaking English with me?" And oh god, sorry, I need to turn off my brain
Goodbye.
to. My brand English version. It's so fine. It's so fun. Okay, amazing. So I think that we are in good shape. Everything is still running under the hook, so we can see that CI/CD is happening. CI/CD process is happening behind the scenes. Of course, it's a simple code that we didn't develop tests on there. Maybe we could create some tests in the future. Maybe. Let's telling us in the chat if you want to, if you want that we create some tests with JNoSQL or something like that, or maybe bring some more information about how to test, how to create tests in a Jakarta environment or using a microprofile implementation, telling us in the chat. We will be glad to help you with that. Am I right, Gabriel?
Me? You're right.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
look, so look, we got another friend that joined us in the chat. It's William Dutra. William, it's so nice to see you here. Uh,
I
William
made many
is
things
a
here.
friend of mine. Yeah. William is a friend of mine that got started a DevOps career in a specific, in a good company, and we have been talking a little bit for a long time, trying to help him with Java stuff. But as he getting started a DevOps career in a specific company, I recommend him to pay attention with the DevOps tools and so on. Because in the end of the day, man, in the end of the day, folks, we need to solve problems, and that's the reason why we are paid for about the companies. We need to to work with something that bring money to our homes in order to get a good family, a good life in our family, and so on. So, Java, toolings, and so on, everything's our tooling, and we need to use them in order to solve our problem and to make money with that. Just like that. So I love the way that we could use technology to solve our problems to make our life easier. So congratulations, William, and I hope that you will be succeed in this position. Okay, amazing. So I think that it's done,
Things.
Gabriel. I think we just need to hold someone to approve it. Okay, I'm allowed to do that, but I like to see another opinion, so I will ask to someone to pay attention with that and maybe approving this one. Okay, Gabriel, you do want to say something?
No, Max, I don't say, not have anything to say. I think it is only this today.
Yeah. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks again, Gabriel, for this opportunity to come back and developing together this feature and contributing to the JNoSQL project. This is the best way to make the project stronger. Uh, Stronger in the market because it will help anyone to understand how to work with that. And of course, we're contributing with open source. We got a lot of benefits. You could learn with good experts in the market. You will learn how to deal with communication skills. So you need to talk to the people. You need to understand how to talk to the guy, how to talk to the experts, and of course you could use this on your your portfolio, and you could talk to the interviewers on any position that you are trying to that you are pursuing right now, showing that what you are doing, your expertise, and so on. So that's it, Gabriel. That's it for today. I love it, this one. Thanks again, everybody on the chat, and see you next time. Do you want to say something, Gabriel?
Yeah, so next time, next session's a Friday sometime.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Amazing. So Guys, see you next time. Bye bye, Gabriel. Touch here, touch here. Yeah, one more completed.
Session two.
One more session completed. Okay. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Take
See you
care.
guys. See you next time. Bye bye.